Okay, future me is here. I just want to give you a disclaimer, or not really a disclaimer, is a information plus for this upcoming video that you about to see. It's about this video that I made about Hype America CEO Scooter Braun talks career ups and downs with Bloomberg Talks. It's a podcast platform, not platform, it's a podcast. And this short snippet is from the podcast session that they made with Scooter Braun. And it's probably not reflecting the whole podcast session that they did, which was, I don't know how long, but I didn't saw the full version. YouTube just offered me this video and I was like, I'm gonna watch it. So if my opinions are polarizing or not reflecting the whole video that they did with Scooter Braun, the whole podcast, then let me know. And if you guys want me to see the whole session that they did, I'm going to react to it. But and this is the disclaimer, as my feelings about this case was a little bit strong, especially at the end of the video. So I mean, I was just whatever. So yeah, just a little bit of heads up for the video. Let's go. Okay, so we have a little bit of a different video. Hype America CEO Scooter Braun talks career ups and downs. It's a 12, almost 13 minutes podcast section, I assume. And I'm really interested about what he is going to talk about.
Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Back to the main stage. Our Lucas Shaw up there on the stage with the CEO of the American division of Hybe. We're talking about Scooter Braun. Let's listen in.
A lot has happened with you in the last couple of years, and that's sort of where I want to start.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit. Because there's been a lot of coverage of, okay, all your clients are firing you.
Yeah.
We won't touch your personal life, but I know a bunch has happened there. You sold your company.
Yeah.
You haven't said a ton about it, and I'm curious, what is your take? Did a bunch of your clients fire you in the span of a couple of months, or what happened with
All
Ariana?
43 fired me on the exact same day. Yeah, no.
What happened with Ariana, with Justin, with...
Listen, I actually, a year after it happened, for contractual reasons, I wasn't allowed to say certain things. But I wrote something called 23 Years. I posted on social media. It was my own words. And I kind of explained why I made a decision to not manage musicians after 23 years. And that had actually happened about a year earlier. But, you know, we're running a big company and there's things that we needed to handle, so I didn't feel like it was the right time. And simply, 23 years of my life, from 19 years old to into my 40s, I only knew being a music manager. 24/7, 7 days a week, every vacation, every holiday, I was on call. And I wasn't on call to one big artist, I was on call to a lot of big artists. And for a large part of my life, I really loved it. But then I had 3 kids, and I went through a divorce, and anyone who's been through a divorce with children knows that is not an easy situation. And I really looked back at my life and realized that, you know, you can point fingers in a divorce and say, oh, this happened, but you play a role in it. And that's why me and my ex-wife are partners with these 3 children. We put them first. And my role was I wasn't present. I was a manager 24/7. And even though I was home, I wasn't being there the way I should, and it led to a divorce, and I realized I might have...
Oh, I didn't thought that he's going to talk about his personal life. I guess it's part of his ups and downs, but I thought it it's gonna be mostly career stuff, but okay.
I've lost the marriage, I wasn't going to lose my kids. And I decided that I wanted to step away from it and focus on other things. And now I have 3 of the best clients in the world, and that's my focus. But then, there was a lot of noise because no one actually thought you would want to step away from that.
But how did you communicate that to the clients that you were working with?
Well, one of them, I wrote about this, one of them approached me and said, hey, I think I want to try something new. And at first I was kind of hurt because we'd been through so much together. But then I realized I was already heading in this direction for the last couple of years anyway. And I think you make plans and then the universe kind of shows you what you need. And I realized it was actually a gift, and it wasn't about one client, it was about all. So I started picking up the phone and having the conversations, and some went well, some took a couple more conversations. But I'm grateful for all those years. I lived a very unique life doing that. I was a part of the journeys of some of the most successful and incredibly talented people in the world, and now I get to root for them in a different capacity.
How does the relationship, like, take someone like Bieber, you take him from nothing, you guys do the whole ride up together. Like, how does that relationship work now?
Root for each other. I mean, you get to a point where you just say, we built this legacy alongside each other, and now he's a father, he has an opportunity to continue doing, the things he loves to do, and I'm going to be rooting for him for the rest of his career.
So Hybe bought your company about 3 years ago. We had we had Bang here last year. A lot of people, I think, thought you would have left by now.
So did our chairman.
Why have you stuck around? And I guess, what are you doing now if you are not managing artists?
Well, a couple things. One, when Chairman Bang and I met, he's the chairman of Hybe, and he's a very unique individual. This is someone who was one of the biggest music producers in all of Asia. And at the height of his career in Asia, he came to the United States to have meetings with A&Rs and presidents of labels here to discuss his ideas. And one of these meetings, they had him wait in the lobby for 3 hours and then told him, I'm sorry, we have another meeting, and canceled on him. And instead of having an ego or getting upset, he goes, you know what, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to build this industry myself so that when I come back here, I don't need to ask for these meetings. And
Oh, this sounds really, really bold, considering that not he's the one who built the environment, or he was not the one that brought the opportunity. So I'm talking about Bangsiak, of course. But okay. He's talking about something, I guess.
if you look at the groups, including BTS, that he was able to create and produce and develop and continually do so, he's actually brilliant. And I had admired his work for some time. He knew about the stuff I had done. And he reached out to me and said, can we have conversations? And the first 4 conversations, that's when the last one happened about the purchase. He said that in the East, we have conversations about what we're going to do. He goes, too many times when I talk to people in the West, they talk about just the transaction, just the deal, not what we're going to do. He goes, all 4 conversations we've had, we've talked about culture, we've talked about philosophy, we've talked about meditation, we've talked about music, we've talked about family. He goes, I want to do this with you, and no matter what we find, we'll go through it together. We signed up, and we did a 5-year deal. And the reason I'm still here, because you're right, and those deals usually vest out at a certain point, and my deal was pretty much up front. I gave my word, and I really enjoy him. I think he's a visionary, and I think your word should mean more than just the deal that you do on paper. And I told him I'd be there for 5 years, and I'm going to do that. And the exciting part is we've developed such a relationship that now we're talking about extending that and being there longer, and I'm looking forward to it.
And is that being focused, like, are you, because you're the CEO of Hybe America, right? How much of your time are you spending on taking big Korean acts and bringing them here, or bringing them around the world? And how much of it are you spending on developing?
Now, this is the fun part. Like, I think he's going to talk his way out of this question, but the simplest answer is no one. No one. Like literally no one. Like Cat's Eye is in Hype America, if I know it correctly. So other than Cat's Eye, and they debuted like now. So what group should we include or talk about in the same sentence with Scooter that he brought and make known in America? To be honest, like, be for real.
Acts here that have nothing to do with Korea?
It's about 50-50. And also, if you look at our strategy, we purchased QC,
yeah.
which is, the biggest independent hip hop label in the country. We had Big Machine from Ithaca when we brought it over. So we're going to, go out and find other companies that make sense for us and other assets that make sense. We also launched Hype 2.0, which allows us to create a distribution system for independent labels because of our distribution deal with Universal, a 10-year deal that puts us in a unique position. And then, you look at Weverse, which is our large platform for fan engagement, for super fans, which is the biggest in the world and the biggest in Asia. A lot of people don't realize this, but 30% of our revenue is actually from North America. So, now we've introduced Ariana Grande to that platform. We introduced Kid Laroi this week. You're starting to see a lot of, acts from the West joining, and it makes sense because you see acts from the East coming here and they're selling out arenas day one, and everyone's asking why, and it's because of that opportunity to talk directly to the fans on Weverse.
Right. I'm curious, setting aside Weverse, the last decade plus, I feel like a lot of people were finding artists on YouTube, then they're finding artists on TikTok. Where do you or where do people you work with discover new artists right now?
So I can give the nice answer, but I'm going to give the real answer.
On the streets, probably on the streets. Like, this is how talents are recognized in Korea, at least, if the managers is not going around.
When we're talking to people, there's still A&Rs, there's still scouts. They're going out there and they're finding stuff. There's still people looking on TikTok and on YouTube, and you might see something, and part of it is true development. Like we just did with our group Cat's Eye, which we developed them. We did a show on Netflix, and now we've launched them. But the thing I'm most excited about is what's to come. And the reason I say that is I'm 43 years old. When I found Justin, I was 24, about to be 25. I was native to technology that was around at that time. I was a young guy. I understood what my peers wanted. I understood what was missing in the marketplace, and I understood how to use the social media in a way that made sense to my peers. So, for example, Twitter at the time was just celebrities talking to other celebrities on the suggested user list. And I was like, well, this feels very voyeuristic. I don't want to just watch someone talk to someone else. I want to engage. And Justin was the first person to cross 1 million followers on Twitter that wasn't on the suggested user list, because we actually engaged with the fans. We created fan groups like Belieber Babes and Bieber Army and all these, things. The names are amazing. I know. You guys can giggle. It's okay. Okay. Actually, a lot of the people who ran those accounts are now executives in the music industry. Jackie Augustus is a very big executive, and she used to run Bieber Army back in the day.
Right.
And when she was like 16. So what I'm waiting for is that next kid who's in their 20s, or even a teenager who understands, who's native to that technology and realizes how to use that.
Interesting. Okay. So Scooter is saying that he's waiting for, in his language, the next Justin Bieber, which is parallel with the next BTS type of stuff in Korea. And it's a little bit funny to me that Hype America CEO is talking about this new talent that is not yet awakened, in his opinion. And honestly, I don't know what he's trying to say, because the questions are not bad actually for him. Like the host is really nice. I like his questions, but I would like to ask a little bit deeper questions from him. Like he's mentioned Cat's Eye, and that Western artists are joining for to Weavers and stuff like that. And he's waiting for a online native teenager that is like the children of this age. And I would ask him, like, is he thinking that this person that he's waiting for is going to be from the West or from East, or he looking for this talent at the time specifically in somewhere, or because he's saying that he is not doing artist management anymore after 23 years, 24 years. He is trying to focus on his family and stuff like that. So as a CEO, he can not engage with the artist management stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, management is really different from CEO position, of course. He can see overall the things that the managers are doing, and he can give advice on stuff, but it was so different when Justin Bieber was found. Like when Scooter is found Justin Bieber, it's so different now. So I don't know what his future plans are, but I mean, what he's saying is pretty easy, like pretty evident. Like if you in a talent agency, you want to cast everyone that is has a inch of a talent, and you can take care of that talent and develop something bigger. So I I mean, I guess this video is almost over, and I thought he's gonna say something more revealing or something more interesting, but I guess no.
The AI that's coming, all the different things, in a way that myself and Bang and my peers just don't, because it is a youth-driven industry. So when I meet people or they're young artists, they go, hey, what do you think I should do? My response is usually, stop worrying about getting to people like me. You have all the resources to get to the audience directly, and your peers, develop with them. So when you say, how do we do it? It's going to be self-discovery. I just don't know how the next generation is going to do it, because for my dad, it was vinyl. You know, for me, it was mixtapes. For someone else, who knows?
Right. Do you, as a result of that, do you feel the balance of power in the music industry has shifted more to the artist than when you started?
100%. I think it's shifted to the artist, but there'll always need to be those teams or people that give their all and their heart alongside the artist.
And that's the key point in my opinion. The people that in the team that they give their hearts for the project and the artist that they are managing, and this heart is missing in the industry right now, and that's the problem. And he's talking about the western side of the industry, but the the corporation or the agency that he is the CEO of is in South Korea originally. So the mother company is in South Korea, and that industry is also missing a lot of this type of sentiments right now. So, or not even missing, it was never there, put it simply. And yeah, the artist cannot do everything, but for example, DPR Ian is one of the artists that are directing his music videos, writing songs, producing everything, and he has a team behind him, but he is the creative brain of his own productions. So it it's possible to do it by yourself because technology is here to help you with everything, as Scooter said, and the older generation is not really up to date with that kind of technology, for example AI. But it's so polarizing to me. Like, I don't think you need a whole team, like a whole big team, to make something that matters.
Artists to develop talent, to understand the marketplace, and that's what's exciting because it kind of like where I am in my life. I've never been so uncertain about what's going to happen in my life in the next 5 years, but I've never felt so at ease with being uncertain. And I think the industry is in a very similar place.
Right. Well, I would imagine a lot of money helps with that.
Yes.
Lucas is the best.
I'm curious, if you were starting a new company today, management, whatever, I know you don't want to manage anymore. Who is an artist out there, like, if you could just pick one and I'm going to build around you, who would you pick?
I don't know because I haven't really been in that space of finding the next one.
Well, but it doesn't have to be the next one. It can be.
He is reading my mind right now. This is exactly what I was telling. Like, ask him about his pick for the next big thing. Where is it? How you can find it? Who do you think it will be, or are you find it already? And he can't answer the question so easily. So I was right. There was the question that I was waiting for. Okay, cool.
Who would you pick?
I don't know because I haven't really been in that space of finding the next one.
But you literally talk about it right now that you want to find the next one. So this is bullshit. I'm sorry, but this is just not true.
Well, but it doesn't have to be the next one. It can be a huge star now. Like, who is someone now where you look at them and they're already...
He's going to say JK. Like, come on. They pushed so much the golden promotions. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Okay. But maybe he's going to say a soloist, like a solo musician.
a star, and you feel like their earnings over the next 20, 30 years, or their potential of where they could go with their career is something that you want to be involved with?
I'm going to give you the soundbite you're looking for because I just can't help myself. And the PR team is going to be like, what? I think the artist that's, is one that you should always bet on and is already a huge star and you can always bet on because they want it all the time
BTS.
And they do what it takes to be, present and relative all the time is Taylor Swift.
I was actually not thinking you were going to say that.
Yeah. I was not thinking of her. What? And I bet the PR team was like, what is he said? Oh Okay. Okay, you piqued my interest in the end of the video. Okay.
But it's an obvious answer.
I also love that what we're doing with our group Cat's Eye. I love Teddy Swims. I love great voices like that. I love like Benson Boone. I saw him perform the other day, and that was really impressive. Zach Bryan is doing incredible stuff. So there's,
He's not saying the next big thing. And the host is flipped his question when he became silent about the answer that he's not give, like,
And they're already a star.
yeah, because his first question was like, who do you think is the next big star? And Scooter either can't or don't want to answer it. So there is some bullshit in this segment. Okay, I mean, I agree with him if we talking about already big stars, but that was not the question, and this is a boring answer because we know Taylor Swift is a powerhouse, and and she's going to bring money and fame and the power that she's holding, and her fan base is huge, and it's going to be huge for a very long time. But that is not some revolutionary answer. I'm sorry, but this is just a, I was a little bit hesitant watching this video, but the title was catchy, but I don't know.
20, 30 years, or their potential of where they could go with their career is something that you want to be involved with?
is already a huge star, and you can always bet on because they want it all the time, and they do what it takes to be,
It's an obvious answer.
I also love that what we're doing with our group. I love like Benson Boone. I saw him perform the other day.
He sounds so tired. He sounds so fucking tired. I cannot with him. And he knows that he's bullshitting. Cat's Eye and some random names that are not in the mainstream. Like literally, I don't know, some guy's name that he said that they doing their best. Okay, they're doing the best, but they are not worldwide success. They're not globally successful artists. Like, the question was already doing well. The host was interested in what he is think about the next thing going to be, and he is scared or doesn't even care about the answer because Cat's Eye, okay, you promoting your own group in your own label, but the answer the host was waiting for was BTS. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth.
Day, and that was really impressive. Zach Bryan is doing incredible stuff. So there's, the fun part about it is everyone, there's a huge opportunity coming with AI, and it's going to change the music industry the same way Pro Tools did. When Pro Tools came along, people said, what is this? We need live.
Okay, I'm tired of this. It's enough. I cannot.